Do you have one of these cards? Probably, because in this video we're going to cover the 20 surprising baseball cards that have doubled in value in the past year, and many of these are not even rookies. And you're definitely going to want to stay for the top 4 because these are pretty common cards that have tripled in value in just the past year alone. So let's get into it. Number 20 is the 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. This one specifically in PSA 9 has recently sold for as high as $360. And when you look at it, it was just a year ago that you could be buying these for $171. So in the last 6 to 12 months, this is a card that has more than doubled in value. We're at 2.1 times. If you have any of these, they're going up in value. You might want to take a look at what condition you have and see if you want to send any in to be graded. Number 19, I love this card. It's the 1984 Donruss Don Mattingly rookie card. I think this is one of the best looking Donruss cards of the 80s. This PSA 9 recently sold for $370. And when you look at it, about a year ago, they were selling for $174. So this is again another card that in the past 6 to 12 months has more than doubled in value at 2.13 times more valuable. And it's an iconic card, just like the Ken Griffey Jr. to have in your collection. Number 18, this is a card I hadn't seen before until I put this list together. It's the 1987 Bellingham Mariners Ken Griffey Jr. card. In a PSA 10 condition, it recently sold for $1,205, and it was just a year ago that these cards were selling for about $565. Now, I hadn't seen this card, but that's why I love doing lists like this, and so this is more than doubled in the last year. Number 17 is the 1987 Topps Traded Tiffany Greg Maddux card. This one in PSA 10 has recently sold for $1,177. And you look at the price over the last year or so, you can see that a year ago they were selling for $550. And today they've more than doubled, coming up to 2.14 times more valuable. Number 16, this one blew my mind because I have some of these, so I actually went to look at it. This is the 1986 Fleer Update Barry Bonds rookie card. I used to flip these back in the day, so I knew I had some back in my collection. Specifically here, we're looking at the PSA 10. It recently sold for $1,600, which to me seems like an outlier. But when you pull the data up, a year ago it was selling for $278, and you can see a good cluster around $600. So while the $1,600, and there's two values there, seems a little bit too high, you can still see that this card has more than doubled in value. I went to my collection. I only have a PSA 9, which is selling for about $50 right now, but it has doubled in the last year or so as well. Number 15 is the 1986 Donruss Rookies Barry Bonds cards. Maybe Barry Bonds is getting popular right now, but his 1986 Donruss PSA 10 recently sold for $368, and you look at the prices of this PSA 10 over the last 2 years. A year ago, these were selling for $150, and now there's a good cluster of cards right around the $333 price point. So these cards have increased in value 2.2 times in just 6 to 12 months. Number 14, is the 2001 Topps Chrome Albert Pujols. I actually love this card. This is a pretty cool looking card. This is the Chrome version. PSA 10 recently sold for $2,750. When you look at the price history, a year ago they were selling for $1,230. And now they've more than doubled in price. So this is a card that, although this is a rookie card and is pretty popular, I may not have expected it to double recently. So there just must be more interest in baseball, especially in these kind of iconic cards. Number 13 is the 1987 O-Pee-Chee Barry Bonds card. This one's PSA 8. This one, sometimes people call it a rookie because his 86 rookie card was a Topps trade, so that's like an extended rookie card. Either way, this one recently sold in a PSA 8 for $180. And you look at the prices, a year ago, these were selling for $79 in PSA 8, and now you can get it for $180. So these have more than doubled in the past year. Number 12 is the 1985 Topps Team USA Mark McGwire rookie card. This card is awesome. Topps got a year jump start on the McGwire cards because they did the Olympic team. This one in PSA 9 recently sold for $169. And if you go back, you can see that they were selling for just $60 a year ago. That's what that yellow line there is. And now they're selling for about a good grouping around $136. So for me, I'm giving this one 2.27 times more valuable in the last year. Number 11 is the 1987 Donruss Barry Bonds card. This one in a PSA 10 recently sold for $365. And you look at the data for sales of the PSA 10s, you can see a year ago they were selling for $153, and now they're selling for as high as about $365. So there's some pretty good sales in that price range, and you can see the trend is definitely up for this one. So that one's almost 2.4 times more valuable. Now, if you made it halfway, be sure to hype this video. If you don't know how to do it, below the video you'll see an option to hype it. You can hype 3 videos a week. We would love it if you'd hype one of our videos, because we see about 2,000 more viewers every time you do one hype. And thank you to all those who've been hyping our videos in the past. Also, like and subscribe. Number 10, this is an interesting card. It's a 2017 Topps Archive Aaron Judge. So pretty modern. I love the 1960 throwback look to it. I guess I'm old enough now that I am a Topps Archives target audience. But the PSA 10 recently sold for $207. You look at the history of these, PSA 10s could be had for about $87 just last December, and now they're selling for $207. So this card has, again, more than 2.3, almost 2.4 times increased in value in just the last year. Number 9 is another iconic card, one of the most graded cards of all time as well. This is the 1990 Topps Ken Griffey Jr. The PSA 10 recently sold for $787. And when you look at the previous sales, these sold for $325 a year ago, and now they're 2.4 times more valuable, which is just phenomenal. This is a lot of movement. Not a lot of cards are doing this. It was actually hard to find these in the research, but there's a definite trend, especially with the Barry Bonds cards, that there's some interest here. This one might be one of the most fascinating to me. It's the 1985 Topps Wade Boggs card. So this is 2 years after his rookie card. So this is just a generic card for Wade Boggs' third-year card. PSA 10 recently sold for $200, when a year ago you could buy PSA 10s for about $80. And so maybe people are putting together sets of PSA 10s. I'm a big Wade Boggs fan as a Red Sox fan, but I never would have thought his 85 card would increase in value right now by 2x. And so this is actually 2.5 times more valuable than it was just a year ago. Number 7, iconic 1990 Score Bo Jackson card. PSA 10, it recently sold for $500. And you look at the sales, look at that. It was selling for $200 just a year ago. And now they're selling for $500. That's another 2.5 times more valuable in just the last year. Number 6 is the 1987 Fleer Glossy Barry Bonds. A PSA 10 here is for $750. When you look at the trends of what it's sold for, again, about a year ago you could get for $293, and now they're selling for $750. So this one, we're climbing up there. That's over 2.5 times more valuable in just the last year. Number 5 is the 1982 Donruss Cal Ripken Jr. card. This is a cool looking card. PSA 10 recently sold for $2,125. And when you look at the price ranges, a year ago they were selling for $780. So again, this card is 2.7 times more valuable than it was just 12 months ago. Now we're getting to the big top 4 I talked about. This is the 1986 Topps Traded Bo Jackson card. I love the look of 86 Topps. I know the black border on the top was hard to keep in good condition. This is just an awesome looking card. PSA 9 recently sold for $142, when just 12 months ago it was selling for just $45. So now we're in the big leagues here. This card has more than tripled in value in just the last 12 months. That's just unbelievable. Number 3 is the 1986 Topps Mike Schmidt. Again, it's not a rookie card. PSA 10 sold for $800, when just a year ago you could get a PSA 10 for $231. Look at that trend line. So that is about 3.5 times more valuable in just the last year. Number 2 is the 1986 Topps Traded Tiffany Will Clark. The Tiffany PSA 9 recently sold for $251. And when you look at it a year ago, you could have bought it for $68. This is crazy. So this one's 3.7 times more valuable than it was just a year ago. And now if you've made it all the way to number 1, please leave a money emoji in the comments and we will hit you back with a rockin' guitar. Number 1 is the 1977 Topps Mark Fidrych card. I have this card. It's not graded, so I might send it in to be graded, but a PSA 9 recently sold for $1,260. And when you look at it, a year ago, these were selling for $332, making this our most increased value in card in the last year at 3.8 times more valuable. That's almost 4 times more valuable than a year ago. So make sure you watch one of these videos next because YouTube says you're going to love it. And we'd also love it if you'd share this video with any of your friends who like baseball cards. We'll see you in the next one.